Most people think their Medicare plan is set it and forget it, but assuming everything stays the same may be one of the most expensive mistakes you can make every year. So every year, plans change, premiums shift, doctors move in and out of networks, prescriptions may change, prescriptions change tiers within the drug formularies, and new benefits appear in your area every year. So at the same time, your own health and financial situation may also be changing too. So if you don't review your options during the AEP, you could end up paying hundreds of dollars more potentially in out-of-pocket costs and even higher premiums every year if you're not reviewing your annual notice of change that you get from the carrier each year. So you don't want to also miss out on valuable benefits that would make your life easier as well. Okay, so all of this because you didn't review your plan, you let the deadline pass. Okay, so now is the time of year where you especially want to pay attention. And here are the top 5 questions that we get from clients during AEP. Okay, so number one, do I have to do anything or will my plan just keep going? Well, a lot of plans will automatically renew. Okay, so you could potentially stay in your current plan. Now, some plans don't renew every year, they're non renewable. So, in those instances, now these are farther and fewer in between, you would have to select and enroll in a new plan. Okay, so as we go into 2026, this is the year you may see more of this turmoil. So, even though a lot of plans will renew automatically, it's a good idea to check the benefits, the premiums, and the provider networks again in your area each year to make sure that your doctors are still in network. Okay. And this can help make sure that your plan will also still fit your needs and your budget as we go into the coming plan year, into the 2026 year. Okay. Number two, why are some Medicare Advantage plans $0 a month and why do others cost more? So remember, when you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan, the insurance company is taking over from Medicare as the primary payer, right? So when that happens, they're handling the billing, the claims, the prior authorizations. So Medicare is basically offloading some of that risk to the insurance company. And in exchange, they're paying the insurance company like an annual stipend. So these plans are funded by Medicare, but you still have copays, deductibles, costs for certain services, right? So plans with higher premiums, you may see a larger network and a lower out-of-pocket cost. Plans with lower premiums may have higher out-of-pocket exposure, maybe a more narrow network. So those are some things to keep in mind. On other Advantage plans where you see what they call a Part B give back, where they're putting money back into your Social Security check, where the premium's zero, but maybe they're giving you back $50, $100, whatever that may be. There's always a trade-off there. So usually there's a higher out-of-pocket exposure. You may have higher costs for certain services like outpatient surgery, for example. You may have a co-insurance versus a copay. So what that means, maybe you pay 20% for surgery instead of $200, right? So those are things to definitely pay attention to, okay? So what's right for you and the right choice is going to depend on how you use healthcare, okay? And number three here, will my doctors and prescriptions still be covered? So maybe, right? Not always. Doctors and prescriptions that are covered one year may not necessarily be covered the next. Each year, it's good to just double check that your doctors are still within the network. The drug formularies change. Covered drugs on a formulary can change year to year, or covered prescriptions may change drug tiers. So, for example, some plans could have what they call a 5-tier drug formulary. So, one year, the drug may be covered in tier 2 with a lower copay, and then the next year it may be in tier 3 with a higher copay. So, those again are things to pay attention to. And you want to check these details at this time of year when the AEP is coming up or during the AEP, October 15th through December 7th. As we go into 2026, you will see a lot of Medicare Advantage plans are going to introduce prescription drug deductibles as well. This just kind of helps them defray some of their costs and some of their exposure, obviously, so they can keep premiums lower. Okay, so these last few years, these plans have been very benefit rich, low premiums, low deductibles. A lot of them had no prescription deductible. So as we go forward, you're going to see that start to change. So you're definitely going to want to pay attention to your current plan. Each carrier will send out an annual notice of change every year. Now, this will show you side by side, like your current benefits and then what your benefits are going to be in the next year, and kind of lay out any copay changes. So that is always a good document to review, or review it with your agent. Of course, this is the time of year you probably want to pay a little bit more attention to the notices that you are getting from your current carrier. Okay. Number 4, what extra benefits can I actually get? Well, so you'll see a lot of advertisements this time of year where they'll make claims like, oh, you get $2,000 for groceries, or travel to the doctors, and that all those benefits sometimes are available. They're not always available in your service area, and sometimes they're only available to folks that meet certain requirements. For example, they qualify for having a chronic condition, right? Where they're what they call dual eligible. They may qualify for Medicaid and Medicare. So sometimes there are certain qualifications to get those benefits. Those benefits are not available in every area, but a lot of times you'll see those advertisements because they want people to fill out the form and just tell you what they do have in your area. Okay. So, like anything, you take that with a grain of salt, but depending on where you live, some Medicare Advantage plans do offer other services such as dental, vision, hearing, gym memberships tend to be standard. And again, depending on the plan and service area, rides to the doctor. So these extras can vary widely based on your area, your zip code, and by plan. Okay. The 5th question, right, that comes up the most is, what if I miss the deadline? So the deadline, again, to change your plan during annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. So this time you can make a change. The last change you put in is the plan you would have for 2026. There is a Medicare open enrollment from January through the end of March, where depending on your plan, you may be able to make one plan change during that time. But as a general rule, it's good to just plan on, okay, I want to review my plan this time of year. If I'm going to make a change, this is the time I'm going to do it. Okay. You may be locked into the plan if you let the deadline pass, unless you qualify for a special enrollment. Okay. And again, missing a deadline, not paying attention, that could mean paying higher out-of-pocket costs. It could mean network limitations or changes to your drug tiers as well, which in turn leads to the higher out-of-pocket costs. So if you found this video helpful, you can always subscribe. We have another one right here, kind of similar topic that I believe you'll also find helpful.